Hey guys, how you doing? It's Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by the only one of us in blue, and that's Bernard Janine. How you doing, mate?
Wrong blue, mate. Well, it's almost the laser blue, I suppose, of the old days, but yeah, not the right sort of blue. It's I'm a bit surprised. I've just been to the shop to get the papers to see what's happening with what the papers think about our boys, and it's bloody boiling still. I'm roasted. I put my jacket on. It's really warm.
I don't know what's up with the Manchester weather. Hey guys, okay, we're here to do what's called the day after review. So we're going to review the game against Wolves, and I'm wearing black, all in black, because I'm in mourning because we've lost 2 games on the bounce.
Yeah,
and
the moaning black is you call the moaning black, not the men in black, the moaning black,
not the mourning black. Yeah, well, there's been quite a bit of mourning on social media. Look, Wolves beat City by 2-1, and if truth be told, and I'm going to try and tell the truth, it was quite easy for them. Really, we didn't. It's not as if they had to work hard. They did work hard defensively. They worked their structures and everything else, and their plan worked a treat for them. But we didn't really test them. We didn't put them under too much pressure. We put them under the standard pressure that we put teams under from possession, but we didn't create a lot of chances. There weren't a lot of goal scoring opportunities for us. I think our XG was below 1, if I'm right.
0.91, I think it was.
Yeah. So, we had a lot of corners. You can tell I've watched your video today, Bernard, over breakfast. We had 6 corners to there, no corners. But look, possession gets you nothing in the game. And as Wolves showed yesterday, you can have as much possession as you want. It's goals that win games. And we lost. We were out-muscled, out-thought, out-fought at times. It was, for me, a very disappointing display from what was, by Rodri wasn't there, a very, very, very strong City side. So looking back, I mean, you were there. I don't blame the fans. I'm not blaming, that you've been to 2 away games and we've lost, Bernard. I'm not going to remind you of that.
Well, 3 if you count the Community Shield, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad you're not going to Leipzig next. Otherwise, that's a bit of a tough game. But can you put your finger on what was wrong yesterday? Why? I mean, it wasn't that Wolves were so good. I mean, they had to be good at what they did to beat us, but we were so poor. Can you put your finger on why City was so poor?
I think we're being dragged down, mate. I think we're being dragged down to these teams' level. I mean, the fans, obviously, as you can see from social media, expect a lot from us. I think to some extent the players are thinking we're something a little bit special at the moment. And I think teams like Wolves, Newcastle before them last week, I think they realise if you get at us and we get dragged into things, of course, it's going to break the game up. It's going to make it all bitty. We're not going to be able to flow. And we did exactly the same yesterday. Rather than walk away, we're all frustrated at Wolves players going down. We're all frustrated at Wolves players fouling City players seemingly get away with it, as Newcastle players did last week. But our players are getting involved in it. We're not just walking away. You had the prime example of Doku trying to drag that guy off the pitch yesterday in the second half. Just walk away. All right, we're angry, but this is what teams are realising now. They just wind us up, and we're not champions. We're playing like champions at the moment. So we're expected to win, and we're a great team. We're a fantastic team. If things aren't quite working, when you go 1-1 and get at Wolves, I'm sorry, as City as champions, we would have gone on to win that game normally. But again, we lacked that little bit of common sense, that little bit of put our heads on, get our heads together. Whether it's the leadership on the pitch, we've got 5 players in this leadership team. Of course, one's missing at the moment, but we're not showing that calmness. We're not showing the champions which we are, and we should be proud of it. But that doesn't mean we're obliged to win everything or get everything from the referee or get, other teams to respect us and not foul us and get in our faces. And we're reacting. I think that's a big problem. And the trouble is off the pitch as well, because Pep's reacting because he's just had a touchline ban. So I'm not going to blame the players because he's doing it. He's doing it as well. And of course, the fans are going to get frustrated. But you can't blame them. The fans are going to react to what's going on the pitch. Yeah, I mean, Nunes was getting verbals from the Wolves fans, of course. While City fans were trying to sort of applaud him every time he touched the ball to make up for it, stuff like that. And that's how it should be. That's all. But you can't really blame the fans. For me, it comes from the top. It comes from Pep down to the players. It's as though, yes, we are the treble champions. We're very proud of that. But that doesn't, you know, it's a brand new season. That doesn't mean we're entitled to anything. And I think that's I think that's a big chunk of the problem. I mean, that's my opinion. I've not seen it anywhere else on social media, particularly. They just say, "Oh, well, it's a loss. Let's get on with it." But you know, I think that's a big chunk of it.
I think there's a lot going on. You're right. The players are frustrated and angry on the pitch. We've seen it regularly this season. It just seems that more so than in previous seasons, it's regular that Sheffield United booted us a bit. Forest in that second half, they were niggling and booting us and causing, you know, they got a lot of yellow cards, and they got Rodri. Well, Rodri got himself sent off, but he was provoked a little bit, but he went over the top, and that's hurting us. We saw Newcastle, they got in our faces that second half in the Carabao Cup, and yesterday Wolves got at us. So people, you're right, people know, let's rile them. We can't beat them by playing football. So teams have gone through this playing five at the back, wasting time. Now the time's added on. That tactic has kind of gone. They're still trying to waste time. I mean, Wolves are wasting time. There was one yesterday where, I can't remember now. I was watching another game as well. I think I was watching the Liverpool game, actually, when someone kicked the ball away. They were given a yellow card and kicked the ball away a little bit. They didn't get the second one. But Wolves have got away with a little bit of that, you know.
I mean, there's no way that was 6 minutes added time yesterday. So there's no way on earth. So all this rules change. As you said, players are behaving a little bit better. But the trouble is now, as the time's going on, it'll creep back in, and the referees aren't taking control of it, or the timekeepers aren't taking control of it.
There were 6 goals. There was a couple of injuries. Sorry, 6 yellow cards, a couple of injuries. Wish there were 6 goals. 6 and you know, plenty of time wasted. It should have been nearer to 10 or 12. It was only 6 minutes. But it's that frustration, it's that anger, and
we're playing into that because we're wasting our own time by getting involved, and that's what we're doing. It's stupid.
You're right. You've got to keep cool. You've got to keep calm. You've got to walk away. We're not doing that. We're getting. What's happening is we're getting, you're right, dragged down to their level, to the team we're playing. And instead of staying above that, we're getting pulled back to them. Missing Rodri is huge. I mean, Gary O'Neill said it himself, the Wolves manager. You know, he said they got City where they wanted them. They had the plan, and City just fell into the Wolves' plan. Which is great, you know. That's why when we did our preview of the season, I said Wolves would stay up because of Gary O'Neill. You know, even though they were under FFP pressures, they sold their best players, and they were struggling to buy players. I said I think Gary O'Neill is good enough to keep them up. You look at it now: Bournemouth bottom 3, Wolves are reasonably well out of it after the 3 points against us. So their plans worked. To a T, pretty much. I mean, they got their 2 goals. But he also said, Rodri is what makes City tick. Missing Rodri, it was a big blow. And the truth is, we put 2 players there, Núñez and Kovacic, and they couldn't do one player's job. No one can do Rodri's job. That's why he's so crucial to our team. I mean, how much do you think we missed Rodri yesterday, and how far short were the combination of Núñez and Kovacic from one-man Rodri?
Yeah, well, I was a bit surprised just how we capitulated in that sort of midfield position. As you say, we know we'll miss Rodri. Rodri, as you've said, and we've all said, is possibly the greatest defensive midfielder in the world has ever seen. Shall we say? I don't know. Let's do a song. I mean, you know, but you know. The thing is now, are we just an injury away from this season collapsing if something happens to Rodri? I mean, we've always relied on him, but we've never, you know, it's only 2 games. Listen, it's only Newcastle, it's only Wolves, and of course Pep has to find a way, and it's not easy. It's not easy. We've got set plans. Rodri's a big part. We know that of Pep's plans. He's the first name. Without any doubt on City's team sheet when it's pinned up. Do we pin it up on a chalkboard now? I'm not too sure, but he is the guy. And of course, we know you know, we don't want to get back to Phillips. We know Phillips isn't the guy who can do anything like that. There's nobody. There's probably nobody at this point in time that can do it. But Pep has to find a way through it. We know Pep's hopefully will get his act together. He'll get his temperament sorted out. He'll get the boys sorted out. And he'll find a way around it. He will find the play. Kovacic had a shocking game yesterday. I'm not going to write him off for one shocking game. I thought Nunes was terrific, considering all the crap he got. I mean, someone I saw a couple of things saying he was rubbish. Right. I thought it was very, very good. So he can be adapted. We've got John Stones to come back, who will make a big, big difference in a Rodri absence as well. All right. The big guy who helped us out last season before, perhaps was Gundo. He's no longer with us. But there's options. There's options. As I said, I just pray that Stones comes back very, very soon. We need John Stones. He's a big key to this. But yeah, Rodri's a fantastic player, and I like we're missing KDB. Of course, Rodri's just perhaps more important.
Yeah. Well, I don't think John Stones is far away from coming back. I think he's ready to train with the boys. Whether he's ready for Arsenal, it's touch and go. Bernardo is another big miss, you know, because he can make us tick as well.
There's no legs, was there? We didn't really have the legs anywhere, did we, yesterday?
The last thing I'm going to mention is pace. We didn't have any pace at the back, which is why Aki got annihilated quite convincingly and regularly. Is that an issue that concerns you, the lack of pace at the back? Or
it has done before, hasn't it? I mean, it has done with City before under Pep. We were worried about pace, and then we talk about Walker, and we start thinking, let's start all Walker back and use the pace. But it's simple. I mean, the team was so compact. The 22 players, if you like, virtually in one half yesterday, or 21 players without the goalkeeper. All it takes is one good ball player for the opposition to actually put it down the channels. I mean, when I played. I'm not making comparisons to me, but when I played in midfield, when I was playing before I went into being a goalkeeper because I was knackered, I couldn't manage playing midfield because I couldn't do it. You know, literally all I did was I knew we had two wingers. I knew we had two out guys on the wing who were fast. So literally, if I got the ball in the middle and won the ball, I literally didn't even look. I just put it to there, and that's what teams, you know, obviously to more skill than I can, but that's what teams are doing against us, and they know we haven't. Certainly that left-hand side where Aki was. It's not going to do it on the right, particularly. Walker's hanging around, which there's no guarantee he is, because usually he's up the pitch anyway. But that's all they have to do, and it's a big, big problem. And defensively, I think we've got some great defenders, but yeah, we are being caught out for a little bit of pace. And again, Pep has to find a way of getting round that, because we're not going to. Aki's not going to suddenly gain a yard, is he? And he's a great player, but he was made to look a chump yesterday, like a few other players.
But they've had Aki. Sorry, Aki's had Bukayo Saka in his pocket for the last few times with Arsenal, and he's got a bit of pace on him. I don't know.
It tells me we're pushing up too far. It tells me it's for some reason we're pushing up a little bit further than they have been doing in the past. I'm not tactically, you know, I know people analyse games, don't they? But it tells me we're pushing too far up as a team, and obviously. Is that because Rodri's not there? I don't know. I don't know. There was hints of it in other games when Rodri was playing, so not necessarily.
I don't think having Gvardiol would have made the difference, because he's not got pace either. No. So I don't know what the answer is. It's a disappointment. We have to put it behind us. We've got Leipzig in midweek, which is a very, very tough away game, and you know, fortunately Rodri's back, and I think. You know, I did talk.
Unless he dropped him.
Sorry, I did say on the Bolt from the Blue podcast that I would drop Rodri for this Leipzig game, simply because he needs to be taught a lesson, and we do maybe sometimes have to learn. We have to learn to live without him. But
you know me and Rodri. But to be honest with you, the way the team is playing, I'm not going to blame him, because he's obviously that temperament is everywhere. He's in a lot of the players at the moment. So I'm feeling a bit kinder to Rodri now than I did last week.
Guys, well, there you go. Wolves 2, City 1. We have to bounce back. We have to get back to at least not losing ways in midweek against Leipzig. And then we've got the big one against Arsenal next weekend, where, you know, Arsenal on fire at the moment, scoring a lot of goals. We're going to have to step up and come back from that. But anyway, we hope that the result yesterday hasn't dampened your weekend too much, guys. And we'll be here midweek to look at the the Leipzig game and then Arsenal. But guys, thank you very much for joining us. And if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe, get the word out, get subscribing, guys. Hit that like button and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.